Hello, I'm Mr. Ogre, and in this video I'm going to be covering engineering in the War Within. Engineering in the War Within keeps the core structure from Dragonflight with 3 specializations to choose from, but there are some important changes you'll want to be aware of, especially when it comes to learning new recipes and the introduction of a new resource called Pile of Rusted Scrap. Let's talk about Pile of Rusted Scrap. This is a soulbound, uncommon item that is central to engineering in this expansion. You'll need tons of these to not only learn new recipes, but also as a material in some of those recipes. The scrap drops for engineers from humanoid mobs, with a drop rate of about 1 or 2 for every 5 to 10 kills. During testing, I found the kobolds in the waterworks area were an excellent farming spot. However, I do recommend you keep an eye on the group finder tool for potentially better farming spots. One of the first recipes you'll learn from engineering is the pilfer through parts. This recipe allows you to use other parts to craft a pile of rusted scrap. For example, you'll need 5 handfuls of bismuth bolts to make 1 pile of rusted scrap. Keep in mind you can use parts from previous expansions such as ghost iron bolts from Mr. Pandaria. This could be potentially a good way to buy rusted scrap off of the auction house. The first and only recipe you'll learn from the trainer is scour through scrap. This requires 5 pile of rusted scrap. When you use it, you'll have a chance to discover new recipes. Initially, you'll automatically learn a few recipes after using Scour Through Scrap, and they'll be instantly added to your engineering journal. But after that, it's not guaranteed. Here's what you do instead. Scour Through Scrap will sometimes give you prototypes. You disassemble these prototypes with the Disassemble Invention ability. This gives you a large amount of rusted scrap back and some hastily scrawled notes. You can then combine 15 of these hastily scrawled notes into a comprehensively organised idea. Using a comprehensively organised idea lets you pick one recipe from a selection of 3. The selection of the 3 recipes will be offered based on what your engineering level is and what specialisations you have chosen. Before you learn a recipe, always check which ones give you skill ups, open your profession window and type the recipe name in the search bar in the top left. This way you can ensure you're making progress towards maxing out your engineering. If you were wondering where to start engineering, well, you need Thermalseer Ardas. You can find him in the northern part of the main foregrounds building in central Dornogal. The Tinker's workbench is conveniently right next to him. Now, let's talk materials. Here's a list of what you'll need to get your Khazalgar engineering to level 33. The reason it's only to 33 is because beyond that will be varied based on what specialization and what recipes you gain access to. Start by crafting Scour Through Scrap using 5 pile of rusted scrap until you reach level 10. By this point you will have learned 6 new part recipes and the ability to invent, which has a daily cooldown. At level 10, start crafting the following items in this order: 1 gyrating gear, 1 whimsical wiring, and then craft bismuth bolts until you hit level 18. Once you're 18, head back to the engineering trainer to learn 2 new recipes. Then continue with 1 bismuth fueled Samaflange. You might need to craft an extra gyrating gear or whimsical wiring, or just buy them off the AH, whichever works out cheaper. Then cast Invent, which will unlock the Disassemble Inventions recipe. Then craft a safety switch, entropy enhancer, and a chaos circuit. This should get you to level 25. Finally, return to the engineering trainer and learn the last 5 recipes. Craft 1 of each to reach level 33. Keep an eye on your materials, and if you're missing some parts, check the auction house to see if buying them is cheaper than crafting them. From here, the trainer won't offer any new recipes. You can have 2 main options to continue leveling. Continue crafting recipes that give consistent skill ups, like the bismuth fueled Samaflange, until about level 45. I personally don't recommend this as it is a waste of materials. Or keep scouring through scrap even though it won't give skill ups, but you will unlock more recipes and the ability to earn knowledge points. I recommend continuing to scour through scrap until you have 15 knowledge points. You can then specialise in engineered equipment and unlock calibrated chaos. This sub-specialisation lets you choose between crafting a gun or the Tinker braces. I recommend focusing on the bracers because they were popular in Dragonflight and I expect they'll be again. Filling work orders for the bracers can take you all the way to level 100. But keep in mind, this strategy does lock 15 knowledge points in the engineering equipment specialization, so make sure you're okay with that before proceeding. Now that I spoke about knowledge points a little bit, where's the best place to get them? And that's going to be profession treasures. There are 8 of these treasures which will give you 24 knowledge points. To make it simple, I've included waypoints on the screen and in the description below, so I hope that helps. The first 2 treasures are located on the Isle of Dorn. The first is the Dornogal spectacles. These are in the same location as the Black Market Auction House, which is in the fissure in the main city of Dornogal. Next we have the Rock Engineer's Wrench. This is on the coast to the south of the Isle of Dorn. It's on the table and easy to spot. The next 2 treasures are in the Ringing Deeps. We have the Earthen construct blueprints. These are located in the Talok area, which is to the west of the Ringing Deeps. It's a small scroll on the floor behind a table in the building. The other treasure for the Ringing Deeps is the Inert mining bomb. This is on the railway tracks as you just come into the Ringing Deeps on the left. It's a small bomb on top of a box. The next 2 treasures are located in Hallowfall. We have the Arathi safety gloves. These are found near the entrance to the Priory dungeon. It's on the boat in a box behind the portal. Next you have the Holy Firework dud. This is located just south of Merodar, near the big water wheel. The final 2 treasures are in Azj-kahet. You have the puppeted mechanical spider. This is in the inn just north of the Weaver's Lair. It's on the table to the left, just behind the innkeeper. And our final treasure is the Emptied Venom Canister. This is located in the very north of the City of Threads. Just be aware, if you haven't actually unlocked the City of Threads, you may be kicked out before you can loot this treasure. And that's all I have for engineering. If you found this guide useful, then please consider hitting the like button, and if you want to see more World of Warcraft content, hit that subscribe button. Cheers, happy crafting.